Okay, what's up guys, Game Fan of all games here, back giving you another Drama Scripted Saturday. On this Drama Scripted Saturday, I'm just going to go over briefly over the pay-per-view that was supposed to be called Bad Blood and got switched to Great Balls of Fire. Had a lot of blood. I mean, I haven't seen this much blood in a pay-per-view in a very, very long time, and this was supposed to be a PG show. But yeah, all the matches were good, and all the finishes, besides, you know, Brock versus Samoa Joe, seems like they're gonna have a continuation on what's going on. Well, hopefully the Miz and Dean Ambrose. Hopefully that one dies, even though Dean and Miz got into it on Raw yet again on Monday. Hopefully this feud will end one day. Hopefully. But yeah, let's go over the matches. Cesaro versus the Hardys. It's a great match. Cesaro and Sheamus won 3-2. Great tag work by Cesaro and Sheamus. They really have the Raw tag division on lock, and they just really beat the hell out of the Hardy Boys. And Matt had a serious gash over, I think it was his right eyebrow. Yeah, his right eyebrow. He was bleeding all over the side of his face. And let's just hope that they really are breaking the Hardys, because on Monday the Hardys got destroyed again. So who's to say that they may come back broken? Hopefully they do. I predicted that Sasha Banks versus Alyssa Bliss would be the best overall wrestling match on the card, and indeed it was the best overall wrestling match on the card, even though Alyssa Bliss got counted out on purpose. I mean, it sucks, but I guess they gotta carry this all the way to SummerSlam. But yeah, Alyssa Bliss did that, you know, double jointed thing that she does with her arm to get the match to pause, and then she took advantage of that. Overall, besides the finish, that was the hands down the best wrestling match on the card. So I like that. The ambulance match, only because of how it finished, should have ended the show. Braun Strowman ended up winning the match, but then Roman Reigns attempted vehicle manslaughter and put Braun in the back of the ambulance, drove it and rammed it into one of the 18-wheelers trailers, and they had to get the jaws of life to get Braun out. And then Braun falls out, he stumbles for a bit, he holds on to one of the tour buses, and he winds up walking away after that horrific incident. That, I don't care who, that's how Great Balls of Fire should have ended. Braun miraculously somehow is able to walk away from that car wreck with blood all on his elbows and blood all on his mouth and running down his face, and he's still able to get up and walk away from that accident. That's the perfect ending, because that automatically wants you to come back 24 hours to watch Raw to see what's gonna happen. But yeah, and then we got Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, which I think we overhyped that match a bit. I mean, it was a great match. A lot of people have been complaining that it only took one F5. I mean, yeah. He's Samoa Joe. He's not John Cena. And the F5 is a devastating move. I mean, we gotta keep the credibilities of some of these finishers, right? Because it is a finisher. So yeah, it's not really, doesn't bother me that it only took one F5. I mean, look at, it only took one F5 for Big Show every single time Brock Lesnar and Big Show fought. So did it only take one F5 for CM Punk too? Yeah, I think it only took one F5 for CM Punk. I'd have to go back. That was like 3 years ago. But I would have to go back for that Batman versus Bane themed match. But yeah, I think it only took one F5 for CM Punk as well. But yeah, overall it was a good pay-per-view. Surprised. I just don't like the title name, and they're probably going to keep the title name. But all in all, it was a great pay-per-view. And Raw was okay, and SmackDown felt like a go away show for like the pay-per-view. But there's 1 week left. A lot of talking, not much wrestling. I don't see how John Cena is still considered a free agent when this is the 2nd week he shows up on SmackDown and actually wrestles on the show. So that whole free agency thing, they just got to drop it. Just say he's on SmackDown. And if he was a true free agent, he would show up on both shows. He wouldn't just show up on SmackDown. So they need to, I feel like they need to drop that. Oh, and shoutouts to Fight, who got a 5 out of 7. It's either 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 7. I know he got the majority of the matches right, and then he only got 2 wrong. So yeah, shout outs to Fight again for getting another high percentage on what's gonna happen on these pay-per-views. Feel free to participate in these. I will give you credit, as I keep giving Fight, because he's one of the only few that keeps on responding when I say give you your thoughts in the comment sections. Whether you see this video on Facebook or whether you're watching this on YouTube, leave your predictions below, and if you get a lot of it right, I'll shout you out. And when I get my new computer, hopefully in a month's time, if nothing bad happens, I'll be able to edit in your predictions and what actually happens to show proof that it was legit. You didn't just watch it then comment. But yeah, that's gonna undrama scripted news. Yeah, apparently there was another domestic dispute between Alberto Del Rio and Paige. Something somewhere, I think it was at a restaurant or airport. They got into it, and then Paige said he was gonna call the cops. Yeah, it was in the airport. Yeah, apparently Paige threw a drink on him, and it was just like bad. A whole lot of yelling. TMZ has the audio footage for those of you that want to hear, but it was just like a lot of screaming and yelling. Apparently that relationship has a lot of domestic abuse on both sides, not just Alberto. Paige does wrong too, apparently, from what sources have told me. And then GFW suspends Alberto Del Rio. Oh, and whoever, if I was just confused, I had to look this up. So apparently, the company is Anaheim that owns GFW. The wrestling company is called Global Force Wrestling, and the TV show is Impact Wrestling. You would not get all that from the logo, because the logo just kind of throws everything on there at once. So the TV show is Impact Wrestling, the wrestling company is GFW, and everything is owned by Anaheim. Or Anthem. Yeah, it's Anthem, not Anaheim. Yeah, that's definitely Anthem. Yeah, that's Ant, and then yeah, that's definitely Anthem. So I'm sorry. Yeah, so the company that owns everything is Anthem. The wrestling company is Global Force Wrestling, and the TV show is called Impact Wrestling. So now that we've got that all, so there's no more TNA. That would explain why Dixie Carter showed up on the 24 thing Kurt Angle reunion that came on after Raw Monday. Oh, and then we have whoever's Kurt Angle has been talking to, or all these text messages, all that stuff. Apparently they're going to show up on Monday. It would blow my mind if it's Dixie Carter. But then it would make sense since there is no more TNA and Dixie has nothing to do with GWF. Excuse me, GFW. But yeah, that's going to wrap this up for this week's Drama Script Saturday. If you like what you have witnessed, please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment on your thoughts and anything in the wrestling world. And until next Saturday, guys, I'm Game FIFA Football Games, and I'm out of here. Later, and peace.